In this episode, we're peeling back the layers of this iconic sequel to see just what made it swing its way into the hearts of gamers and secure a spot as a legendary title. Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy Kong Quest, developed by Rare and released by Nintendo for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System in 1995. This game took the fun and challenge of the original Donkey Kong Country and, dare we say, amped it up to new heights. This isn't just any platformer though, it's a tale of high-flying adventure packed with quirky characters, challenging levels, and a soundtrack that's as unforgettable as the gameplay. We'll explore the ingenuity behind its creation, from the drawing board to the living rooms around the world, uncovering how a dedicated team of developers managed to create a sequel that wasn't just more of the same, but a game that many argue even surpassed its predecessor. Whether you're here to relive the nostalgia, learn something new, or both, there's plenty tucked away in the rich history of Diddy Kong's Quest just waiting to be explored. So let's get started. This game is a story of creativity and challenge behind the scenes as much as it is in its gameplay. After the massive success of the original Donkey Kong Country, the pressure was on for Rare to deliver an equally compelling follow-up. The development team, under the leadership of the game's directors, Tim and Chris Stamper, had a vision to not only match the original's achievements, but to exceed them. The game's development began in 1994, immediately after the first game's release. Rare aimed to build on the graphical technology that made Donkey Kong Country stand out, utilizing the Advanced Computer Modeling, or ACM technique. The team was able to create even more detailed three-dimensional sprites and lush, atmospheric environments that became the signature of the series. This technique involved rendering characters and levels in 3D on high-end workstations before compressing them into 2D sprites for the SNES. A significant challenge was the game's tight development schedule. The team had less than a year to complete the game, leading to long hours and creative solutions to design hurdles. The designers wanted to introduce new gameplay elements while maintaining the feel of the original. This led to the introduction of Dixie Kong, Diddy's girlfriend, who brought a new dynamic with her ability to slow her descent by spinning her hair, allowing for new types of puzzles and exploration. David Wise, the composer who had worked on the original game soundtrack, returned to score Diddy Kong Quest. Under the constraints of the SNES's audio hardware, Wise managed to produce a soundtrack that not only matched the original's ambiance, but is often cited as one of the best video game scores of all time, enhancing the game's moody and adventurous themes. The result of all of these efforts was a game that pushed the boundaries of what was expected from a sequel. It wasn't just a new chapter in the Donkey Kong series, it was a bold statement in a world of video gaming that sequels could outshine their originals. Not just in terms of graphics and sound, but in deep, engaging gameplay that kept players coming back for more. So, at the heart of Donkey Kong Country 2 lies its innovative and refined gameplay mechanics. The game builds on a solid foundation laid by the original Donkey Kong Country, yet it introduces enough new elements to stand out on its own merits. The core mechanics remain familiar to fans of the series. Players traverse various levels filled with enemies, obstacles, and collectibles. However, the sequel ups the ante with the addition of Dixie Kong, as mentioned earlier, whose ability to twirl her hair to float adds a new dimension of gameplay. This mechanic not only differentiates her from Diddy, but also opens up new pathways and strategies, particularly in reaching high areas or crossing wide gaps that Diddy cannot. This change significantly impacts the way levels are designed and played, providing a fresh experience even for veterans of the first game. The game also features a variety of themed worlds, from the pirate shipwrecks of Gangplank Galleon to the haunted mists of Gloomy Gulch. With each unique aesthetic and gameplay challenges, levels are filled with hidden secrets and puzzles, encouraging exploration and replayability. The inclusion of bonus levels and the quest for collectible items like the Creme coins and DK coins further enhance the depth and complexity. DKC2 introduces new animal companions, each bringing unique abilities that influence gameplay. Squitter the spider, for example, can spin webs to create platforms, allowing access to normally unreachable areas. And Rattly the rattlesnake, who can jump unusually high, adds a different rhythm to level navigation and obstacle traversal. The game's difficulty is notably steeper compared to its predecessor. This increased challenges players to think more critically about each move, particularly in later levels, where precision and timing are key. Despite the difficulty, the game remains fair, with well-placed checkpoints and intuitive level design that teaches players how to overcome challenges through gameplay. Upon its release in November of 1995, Donkey Kong Country 2: Diddy Kong's Quest quickly cemented its status as a critical darling and fan favorite. Surpassing the already high expectations set by its predecessor, critics universally lauded the game for its intricate level design, improved graphics, and innovative gameplay elements. The game's ability to balance challenge with fun made it a standout title in the SNES library. Publications like IGN and GameSpot praised DKC2 for its depth and the technical achievements Rare managed to squeeze out of the aging Super Nintendo Entertainment System. The game was often highlighted for its art direction and music, both considered exceptional and ahead of their time. As said before, David Wise's soundtrack in particular received acclaim for its atmospheric depth and ability to complement and enhance the visual experience of the game. In terms of accolades, Donkey Kong Country 2 received numerous awards and nominations for its design and overall quality. It was a frequent candidate for Game of the Year awards across various gaming publications and platforms, a testament to its impact and quality. DKC2 was not just a critical success though, it also excelled commercially, becoming one of the best-selling games on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Upon its release in '95, it quickly climbed the sales charts, driven by the anticipation built up from the success of the first Donkey Kong Country game and the strong holiday season sales period. The game's launch was backed by a robust marketing campaign from Nintendo, which helped to ensure visibility and excitement around the release. This strategy paid off handsomely. DKC2 sold over 4.37 million copies worldwide. The impressive sales figures made it clear that the game had struck a chord not only with fans of the original game, but also with new players looking for a high-quality gaming experience. In comparison to the other games released around the time, Donkey Kong Country 2 stood out for its sales velocity and sustained popularity. Its success contributed significantly to the overall sales of the SNES games during a time when the video game market was highly competitive, with the emergence of the next-generation gaming consoles like the Sony PlayStation and the Sega Saturn. Additionally, the game has been a staple in the speedrunning communities, beloved for its depth and complexity, which offer a rich field for the development of speedrunning techniques and competition. Its levels are designed in such a way that they can be played through traditionally, but also offer opportunities for high-skill players to find and exploit routes that bypass obstacles quickly, adding a layer of replayability and a continued interest for the hardcore gamers. In terms of the broader media, Donkey Kong Country 2 has inspired a range of merchandise, from detailed figurines and apparel to art prints and more, catering to fans who wish to show their appreciation for the game in various forms. Additionally, its music has been remixed and celebrated in various music albums and live concerts, highlighting its influence not only as a game, but as a cultural artifact. So as we wrap up our journey through the wild and whimsical world of Donkey Kong Country 2: Diddy's Kong Quest, it's clear that this isn't just a game. It's a piece of platforming poetry. It's the kind of sequel that doesn't just ride the coattails of its predecessor, it swings from them with the finesse of a well-trained circus ape. Rare didn't just make a game, they crafted a gauntlet of gorilla-sized challenges that managed to capture and enhance the magic of the original. And so as we leave the Kremlings behind and let the last notes of David Wise's epic score fade away, let's take a moment to appreciate the legacy of Donkey Kong Country 2. Whether you're a die-hard fan who still feels the sting of a lost balloon, or a new player discovering its delights, one thing's certain: this game is more than just a nostalgic trip down memory lane. It's a masterclass in monkey business that continues to inspire banana admiration to this day. If you enjoyed exploring the history and making of Donkey Kong Country 2: Diddy Kong's Quest, click this video here to see more from the Retro Reload. And as always, thank you for watching.